I kind of had no idea how or where to start this video because, as you're about to learn, I feel like this year I've been thrown into a motherfucking washing machine and spat back out again. And just to prove it, I don't get pimples, by the way. Have been like this my entire life. The day I actually get over myself and like record something, I get a fucking pimple on my eyelid right there. On the day of my daughter's wedding. They fucking think so. If you're watching this now, you probably come from one of my socials and you know that I own the brand Prixworkshop. I know that it's gonna be a bit of a jump scare for you guys that I said it that way, but surprise, that's how you say it. And the reason why it's named Prix or Prix is because I just like the letters. It doesn't get much deeper than that. If you follow me or the Prix page, you've probably noticed that I don't post as much as I used to, and there's kind of no other reason to that than it just started feeling really, really out of alignment with who I was becoming. I don't know if I've properly ever said this online, but I am so infinitely grateful for the hundreds and thousands of you who support me or have even spent, your hard-earned cash on anything that I've created. It means honestly the world to me that people believed in my vision for even like 5 minutes. And yeah, I'm so grateful. Like, I had to really sit and reflect on the fact that I was like, you basically gifted me my dream life, and thank you so much. I love you. What Prix means to me and the function it kind of plays in my life hasn't changed. It's still very much a creative outlet for me and a direct sort of like a loudspeaker, like to project my worldview and how I see things and my perspective. And it just so happened that the things that kind of made up the DNA of Prix, so like cars, anime, video games and stuff, I obviously still love, but just, they're not everything. They don't define me anymore. And so there was just like this awkward teething / transition period where I'm like, okay, I have to step back and this isn't me anymore, and I can't really make clothes out of a place of like my ego or making money or like just kind of surface level interests. I want it to reflect the inner work that I've done on myself and hopefully help other girls do the same thing. I can tell you right now that we as humans have no idea just how powerful we are. You are not your body, your mind, your interests, your appearance, how others see you, and just like, you are not externalities. You will still exist if you're not being perceived. There is in all of us a eternal soul, a spiritual body that has literally all of the answers, all of the beauty, all of the abundance, and just truth, universal truth about yourself, about others, about how to deal with situations, about how to create, about how to love others. And I found mine the hard way, and I hope that through kind of telling you about my own kind of like personal life, which, by the way, disgusting. If you told me I was doing this last year, I would have vomit in your face. There's literally nothing worse than to, spill the tea on your personal life online. But even if this just helps like 1 or 2 people, it's like, I feel like that's like part of my dharma. I can't believe I'm doing this. And if you're a family member, please, I'm fine now. You don't have to check if I'm okay. Actually, I would really prefer you not to, if you know me. Anyways, so I got accidentally diagnosed with clinical depression And I say by accident because a friend of mine was like, have you ever been checked for autism? Because you probably should. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I went to a psychiatrist and he asked me a bunch of questions and blah, blah, blah. And was just like, so you are extremely depressed. Here are your antidepressants. Take them every day. Get the fuck back to work, and also get the fuck out of my office. I knew I was probably burnt out from working so much. I had like 7 projects going on. One of them was like a fucking dream project, my favorite game ever. The other one was like a sneaker, which was always on my like career bucket list of like things I had to do to be like a successful brand owner. And I don't know, I just didn't feel like I was depressed. I guess I was. And not like I believe in modern like psychiatry or like psychology anyway, and I did actually end up flushing them down the drain like after the 3rd day because I actually got suicidal. But yeah, then that was just compounded over the year by like a breakup. I had a close family member of mine pass away who I'd spent actually a lot of time with and having these really visceral, like deep conversations with just about life and family and things like that. For fuck's sake. If that wasn't a metaphor for how my life was going at the time, I don't know what is. Anyways, so yeah, breakup, cousin died from cancer. And then what else? Had to deal with the US tariff situation, which I was getting, there's no like polite way of saying like how shafted I got by the tariffs. 90% of my customers are from the US and I was shipping out of Hong Kong, so do the math. Anyways, decided to move to the UK. Didn't realize that meant packing up my entire fucking life, operations, warehouse, and basically just like all my furniture and stuff, and then just trying to just fly over there and just figure it out then and just start shipping pricks out of there instead. Long story short, I just felt like my life was falling apart in every single way, in career, love, home, maybe everything except for my friends. My friends were like a really special and really amazing support system for me at the time, and actually did also contribute to the things that I learned along the way, which was having to basically yank out unprocessed, trauma, shame, guilt, just like anything negative really, just undoing all of the knots that are like hidden and kept deep within your subconscious, your psyche, and your shadow. Practically, it was a lot of crash out journaling. Basically every day, I journaled every single day. It was looking after my body. It was honestly, unfortunately, I know some of you are gonna hate to hear this, but working out honestly fixes a lot, especially just like physical ailments that could kind of hinder your ability to process things. And what else did I do? Let me think. I just gave myself grace. I forgave myself. I gave myself like space to come into who I really was. And I'm sorry if I just like left MIA with like no announcement, especially on the pricks page. I still kind of feel bad about that, but I just couldn't. Like, I actually couldn't. And thank you for showing me grace too. Now that I'm on the other side of it, I can say with full confidence that traumatic events or like negative, I don't want to label anything negative or positive because either way, they get you to where you need to be, eventually. But anything like that is a literal gift from God or the universe. It's free, raw potential energy that you can use to then alchemize into forward momentum, into clear downloads, or into just growth if you want it. The subconscious is power without direction. So if you have a lot of gunk sitting at the bottom of it, think of it this way. I know a lot of you into cars, okay? You have a beautiful E30 M3 in your garage, but it's not been driven for like 15 years, and there's stale gas in the tank, and you try to take it on a road trip or you try to rip it down the highway without mixing fuel stabilizer or new fuel in, okay? You are literally gonna choke up your engine and cause all sorts of problems. Think of your capacity or your subconscious as the engine. It's been clogged up over the years, or it's stale, or whatever fucking else, and you're trying to do the most with it. You're trying to build a life, you're trying to build a career, and nothing's working out because you haven't gotten rid of that stale gas. If you know that you are destined for something great, and honestly, it's okay if you don't, not everyone is meant to, but if you have that daemon in you, that inner drive, and you know you're supposed to make an impact in the world, you cannot run away from the inner work. I'm so sorry. You just can't. You have to do the hard thing because it is a spiritual gift. It is free, raw, potential energy. I know I've said this already, but I just can't stress this enough. As someone who's been through it personally, it's the best fucking thing that's ever happened in my life. And I feel like I have this fire in me that I haven't had since I was like 20 years old. And it's totally human and totally normal to distract yourself. I'm literally the CEO of doing that. Instead of facing my demons, I like traveled the world for like 7 months just to go to all these different spiritual sites and like temples and like churches and shit to pray and find myself and find the answers and like, woe is me, why is my life so fucking hard, yada yada yada. When I really didn't need to do any of that, all I had to do was look within. We all have this eternal soul, this spiritual body, this Christ consciousness that can be tapped into whenever, and just like get us out of this like very like victim / lost situation. When you do the inner practical work on yourself, you clear out karmic loops that have kept you stuck or kept you in the same place, and you're then ready as a clear vessel to start channeling the divine, the real beauty, the good stuff. The thing that built the fucking pyramids, St. Paul's Cathedral, wrote Berserk, made Yeezus, fucking designed the Porsche 911. The concept of channeling is actually very, very simple. So you can see all divine ideas, art, music, supreme intelligence, they all exist in the ether as consciousness, just waiting to be manifested on our plane. So they will only be attracted to or travel to clear vessels because they're unobstructed, because they're ready, because they're high energy, because they're solar, and because they can actually do something with the fucking inspiration. Not, feel sorry for themselves all day. Being a clear vessel also means being who you really are, not what the world has told you should be or who you are, on Instagram. So my favorite piece of advice to anyone who's kind of like lacking a purpose or has no idea how to even start thinking about their true selves or their higher consciousness is that just remember the kid you were at 12. You at 12 is actually who you still are. You just fucking forgot because you let yourself, we all did, be programmed either by institutions or, culture or media or music that tried to keep us from our true power, our true selves. So yeah, just remember the kind of person you were, what you were into. Would probably illuminate a lot of what you're supposed to be doing now. And your interests at that time were really, really important. This is before, you got corrupted, basically, by the world. So back to pricks, I have obviously gone through this rigorous journey of the self, and that was so cringe. But anyways, I also looked into and throughout this kind of research, learned how bad synthetics are for you and how far the world has actually descended because of modernity, because of capitalism, and the mass adoption of polyester and things like this are just scratch the surface. Not only are synthetics really, really harmful for you, for your hormones, for your fertility, by trapping heat and sweat in your body and like leaking microplastics into your pores when you work out, it's also really, really bad for the planet. A couple really transformative things happened for me that really opened my eyes in regards to this. The first was volunteering at a clothing drive in Hong Kong with my friend Ambrose and just seeing the waste of just one day's worth of clothing donations in Hong Kong, which basically equated to like 3 to 4 tons that we had to sort. And I remember picking up this Minecraft shirt that was just like 100% polyester and being like, holy shit, this thing is going to not like literally not disintegrate or like not decompose. And then the second thing was going to Africa and driving home from the national park and just seeing this like huge market that was just piles and piles and piles. It looked kind of like, I don't know, some of it was like clearly landfill and some of it was like had become a market where people were like buying the stuff that was good. And yeah, just like realizing like they don't have access to good shit because there's such an oversupply of the bad shit from the West that they don't have to produce or make anything. They don't have to wear their traditional clothing anymore that is actually really, really good for them, which is natural fibers. So yeah, those things, it made me sick to my stomach because then I thought about the tens of thousands of phone cases that I'd produced and sold. And the fact that like my bestseller was a fucking nylon spandex blend, yeah, it made me fucking sick, to be honest. And there was absolutely no way that I was making clothes until I figured this out. Until I figured out how to make clothes in a way that really made me feel at peace in my soul. It was literally killing me. It was genuinely killing me that some of that shit was still on my website. So yeah, I hope that explains it. I let pricks die so that I could now more infuse it with pure intention to actually put the work in to make sure that you are wearing things that are 100% non-toxic for you, that make you feel good and don't fucking like poison you. Sorry, but for lack of a better, I don't want to be like too sensationalist or like crazy about this. I will put articles and like resources in the bio so you can like decide for yourself. But I know for fucking sure I am never wearing like Lululemon ever again. If you're interested at all in the kind of research / kind of fabric sourcing journey, I've posted some videos or kind of like short form reels and TikToks, and I'll probably upload them on YouTube Shorts as well. I'm so excited for this new direction. I feel like I was so lost for so long, and yeah, this is like everything aligned in the end. Which, that's another takeaway, you know, closing out the year of the snake. Just trust in the universe, trust in yourself. You will always be taken care of as long as you maintain a pure heart. And if you don't know if you have a pure heart or not, just think about who you were when you were 12. You are still that person. You should be that person. And yeah, tell your parents you love them. I'm going to now show you all the new stuff that I've been working on. It's only 4 pieces because I kind of want to be way more, I want to produce in a way more like controlled and slow way where I know exactly what and where everything is. Which yeah, I think like when we have clothing brands, we just get such a, it's just like learned helplessness. It's like, oh, well, no one else is, you know, transitioning, so why should I? I just need to keep my bottom line fat, and it's not really how we should be, you guys. These things are important. The fabric you wear is important, and it's really, really difficult to source. I got ghosted by like factories in China and Vietnam, actually in India as well, because I would like be really annoying and ask like, where is this from? What's the mill? Like, what's the blend? Like, what's the like, what is the method? Where is this coming from? Where are the raw fibers coming from? And yeah, it's really fucking hard. And I hope you forgive me if I trip up along the way. I'm still learning as well, but whew, that feels so good to just have that off my shoulders. So yeah, I guess I was being a little bit useless, but also I was trying to pivot this entire time, and it definitely took longer than expected, but I think it's really, really gonna be worth it when you feel the clothes and how happy you're gonna be in them. So this is the first new thing that I wanted to show you guys that I've been working on. This is a aloe vera set. So it's aloe vera coated viscose. It is plant derived, but I did do some research, and there are chemicals that they use to pull the plant material into usable, you know, fibers for yarn. So I'm gonna work on that. It's still 100% non-toxic, but yeah, boring stuff out of the way. These are the pants. They are a little too long right now. I'm gonna get them taken up like 6 or 7 centimeters and then have you guys like hem them yourselves. And both of these things are designed strictly for lounging only. I wanted to design something that made you feel like you were like floating around heaven, aka your house, and not do any strenuous or feel like you need to do any strenuous activity in. Like, there's no crazy elastic on anything. It's all really, really flowy just to help you get into that mode of relaxation and just high frequency, high aura, and all that good stuff. If you've been following Prix, you've probably bought a sports bra or a bikini from me. They are probably one of the best sellers, and I don't have many talents, but designing something that makes your boobs look insane was one of them. Until now, because I don't know, I just feel a little more comfortable in my body after, you know, all of that inner transformation and stuff. I used to be like pretty insecure about stuff like that, and you could tell. So yeah, now I'm just like, okay, whatever. If my boobs look like this, they look like this. I'm relaxed. I don't need to prove anything to anybody, and I don't think you guys should either. So I really meant it when I said that the new Prix was going to reflect exactly who I am now. And I hope you guys like it. So long right now, ignore that. But yeah, it's so cute. I honestly feel like, I don't know. It's so nice. I'm so obsessed with how useless I made this bra. There's no padding, there's no underwire, there's no support whatsoever. And I feel like that is a kind of a reflection of how I think us as women should be, not useless, but more so not letting work, life, or even like our clothes stress us out. Like, you'll notice, like, if you wear like a really tight tank top, like I will literally get anxious now if I have a bra strap on, or like if I have a really, really tight like tank top on, I will get irrationally anxious about something, and I'll try to figure out what it is until I realize it's the fact that my body is just like sucked in and like so constricted. So if you get anxiety all the time, change your clothes and just see if that makes a difference. I know it for sure did for me. I'm mounting my phone because it's about to get serious. These are my favorite thing I've ever designed. Ever. And they were born out of just pure desperation for an everything, everyday pant that was basically 100% raw, undyed, unbleached cotton. And trust me, I have done everything in these. Okay, so switching to wide for these. Okay, why not even 0.5? So why are they called the book pants? Because I added these side pockets that perfectly fit a normal sized book so that you can wear these on your walk to the park. I wear them to the gym as well. and you don't have to bring a bag. I hate bringing a bag, and I'm so sorry, but moving to London has made me absolutely fucking traumatized about carrying any of my nice handbags out. I won't even bring a fucking backpack out because I'm worried that it's gonna get like snatched off me. So I'm like, okay, well, you're not gonna steal a fucking book, are you? So just look how perfect that is. And if you want to get performative about it, you could even flip your book over and people can see what you're reading. Another perk that I love is that I turned the waistband in, and it is a strong waistband, so you can have a like iPhone Pro Max in here and like your pants won't sag too crazy. I am aware that I have a lot of male customers, so I will be lengthening the whole thing by probably like 4 or 5 centimeters. So someone even up to about 6'2" could wear them comfortably on their hips. The best part about these pants is you can get them totally fucking dirty, like I do, by wearing them every single day, and they kind of look like they're meant to be like that. So this one is kind of niche, and I don't think everyone's gonna get it, but just to relate it to what I was talking about earlier, where I was going to a bunch of sacred sites and like temples and holy places, like on this weird like pilgrimage to find myself. Not only did I realize I didn't need to do all that, secondly, I realized that I didn't have any appropriate / also cool outfits to wear at the temples that were like respectful and kind of like high frequency. So this is the Summer Temple top in pure Esther fashion. Lol, I should rename things that, Esther fashion. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there's a back tie. So you don't look completely and totally fucking sexless when you want to go to church or you want to pray, because God loves beauty, God loves sexy. Whoever told you otherwise doesn't know shit about anything. Anyways, while being demure, of course, okay? Another thing is, what was I saying? Oh, okay. So I know some people are gonna have like reservations with wearing a cheapao, especially if they're not Asian. But I just want to tell you it's okay. And you know what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna like get little business card size cards, Chinese pass, that has my full government name on it, that makes you Chinese. So if you go to Starbucks or something and like someone with blue hair is like, you're not allowed to wear that, that's cultural appropriation, or online, bam, I'm Chinese. Esther Ng said so.